Hello, spiritual workouters. Sorry about that. Zoom had just logged me out and I needed a code to get back in. Just a whole thing. But yeah, so great to see you guys here at another drop-in clinic here at Spiritual Workout. My name is Sam. You guys all know me as the co-host and technical support for Spiritual Workout. And yeah, let's check who is here today. We got a nice crowd here. Alta, Christiana, Aaron, Gina, Linda. So great to see you guys. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Gina. Hi, Alta. As you guys know, there are three ways to interact here in this clinic. There is the chat. We encourage everybody to say hi and just introduce yourself, maybe say where you are. That's always fun. Um, there is the Q&A. That is like available for you if you want to ask any questions but don't want to come up. And finally, there is the raise hand feature, and that does signal that you do want to come up, have a full spiritual workout conversation, enjoy the drop in, like talk, tap, whatever it is that you want to do. Even set intentions, everything is fair game here at the drop in. And with that said, Stephen, come on up.
Whoops. It's my double secret.
Hey, I can't hear you.
Hi,
Oh, wait,
Sam. Pardon me?
I can
Yes?
hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
Hi. Glad I saw your message about that code. So annoying.
I know. I don't know why I did that.
Anyway, hi, everybody. Good to see you on a Monday night. As you well know, this is our flagship spiritual workout experience where I love nothing more than shutting my mouth and listening to you and engaging you in spiritual workout conversations about whatever you want to talk about. So I'm just going to be quiet right now and let you all do it. Alta has a quick share. This might be a good time.
Yeah, you want to come up right now? I mean,
Just
should I do it?
Sam sees more than I do. Anyway, it's nice to see everybody. Second week in February, Super Bowl behind us. Is spring training just coming up. The sports heads in the room, which I know is a whole lot of people.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't even realize the Super Bowl happened until like yesterday.
Your face just now, you're like, yeah, okay, so he's still talking about this.
Yeah, football. The only thing I've learned about sports was like by staying in Philly for a long period of time, everyone's just like, go birds, go birds. Like you'll be at a concert, people just
Well,
start screaming, go birds.
yep. And then they're going to do the same thing for baseball.
For sure.
Where I'm from, Philly is a major adversary.
Really.
Oh, yeah. Aaron says, I watched the halftime show, but the game was fun since I'm from Seattle. And the dozens of dressed as shrubbery during halftime show was hilarious. Yeah, there was a lot of that.
Christiana says Philly is its own animal. That it is. That it is, but I love it. Love it. They really are. Like they will tear up the entire city because they win the Super Bowl. They will go crazy because they won't won a game. Like there will be riots in the street because they're happy.
Yeah.
Right. I kind of like that about them. Like Miami doesn't have that much personality in that same way. Like it's a little bit superficial.
It's more, well, it's probably more diffuse there. Like Philly's pretty small,
Hmm.
and if there's a big giant segment of the population that's into this, you're going to notice them, whereas Miami's more diffuse.
But it's also like the energy of it. I feel like Philly's just like more real, more like I don't give a shit. Miami is like kind of superficial, like really materialistic. You want like luxury, like high fashion. That's like the standard. It's like,
Like LA.
yeah,
That's me. Are
yeah,
we
pretty
waiting
much.
on Alta, by the way? What's happening?
Yeah. I asked if she wanted to come up right away. Oh, Alta said
Yes.
yes. I'm sorry.
I'm having this conversation because I think somebody's coming up. Anyway, Christiana, they're wild, the fans. Linda watched the halftime show. Well, you can't compare the Olympics to the Super Bowl. They're two completely different animals. Of
Well,
course,
it
they're
just bleeds
at the
into the
exact
same
same
thing for
time.
me.
So it's a bit of an issue. Hello, Alta.
I
Goodbye,
see
Alta.
that.
Hello, Alta. Goodbye,
Hi.
Alta. Hi.
My head sort of cut off there. See if I can
Thank you, Sam.
have a chin and not three chins. And so I'm also from Seattle. You didn't know that about you, Aaron. But when I lived there, and my family is still there, I'm not. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Don't look like I guess. Um,
There was no football when you were there, was there?
oh, yeah, but it was poor. I mean, Seattle was just a boring city. That was pre-Nirvana. So we had no grunge movement. And
Green or fun.
although, well, there was still music. The Wailers were from there and Jimi Hendrix. So what am I saying? It just wasn't very exciting. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can fix this. I thought I had it. It's gonna be just a little crooked. Uh yeah, I sort of thought I was texting my niece in Seattle back and forth, and I sort of thought by halftime they should just give the trophy to Seattle and say it's one of the most boring Super Bowl
Oh,
games. And I
dreadful.
sort of like football. Usually I turn the mute, I put the mute on, and then I putter around the house and do a little project, a little dusting or something. And then when I see a commercial come on, because they're ordinarily rather funny and rather
Usually,
creative. They were bad
they
yesterday.
really were, weren't
They
they?
were really bad. And I heard a critique this morning, and the critic agreed with me that they were not creative. They weren't very funny. I did like the Budweiser one about the horse. That was pretty nice. The horse with eagle wings. It was
I think I missed it. I think I
little
stopped paying
horse.
attention.
A horse who a pony who rescues a little baby bird. That was really sweet. I cried. It was sweet. And I was dying. I just could have used another hour of Bad Bunny. Um, and what I felt was energized um, by the diversity, by the music. Did not. A couple people spoke to me today and said, "Well, I wish I had had the crawl, the English." And I thought, no, I didn't. It was so wonderful to hear him in Spanish the whole time. Creating a village, creating a taco shop. I mean, LA has culture also, not just glam. And he presented the culture of the Caribbean, all the Latin countries with their flags. I mean, I think I have to watch it again because there was so much I missed. The
Yeah.
wedding between a Latino
Yeah,
and a
there was a lot
white
going on.
guy from Riverside. I mean, and it was a real wedding. So there were things multi-layered there
Uh,
I that I
yeah,
wanted to know about.
a lot
And
of it went over my head.
he had to
Lots
wear
of
a bulletproof
people in the room.
vest, which is too bad.
Hmm?
Um, he wore a bulletproof vest. He'd gotten so many death threats. Uh,
Wow.
his music is. I didn't see a spangle or a bit of glitter. People had their clothes on. Not that I mind naked people,
And
but
he's holding a football the whole time.
they
An
weren't
old school
crawling.
football.
All these sexy women were not bumping and grinding on him. And he didn't need that. He's got salsa and rumba and um, I just it was such a change from our American pop rock scene. I mean, I also watched the Grammys, so what can I say? I'm a pop culture aficionado, but it's the kind of world I want to live in. He sings about love. At the Grammys, he had his No Ice button on. He talked about love over hate. And, that's the kind of world that that I want to be in. Anyway,
Well,
really,
keep focusing your
I
attention
know,
on that.
I know, I'm going to watch it again. So what's happened is it's a win for me. Um, I may have a new health challenge, and I've worked with Stephen this over the weekend, and it was, or whatever it was last week, and it was really helpful. Um, so this health challenge has to do with my skin, which is visible. The others, my heart and my cancer, you can't see them. This is my skin, and um, it's an autoimmune um, malady
Condition.
and not really curable. It stays in your system. It can go away, it can come back. There's some medications and yada, yada, yada. But the important thing was it had a real burst forth covering my entire body, insides of my ears. I won't go into great detail, but in my ears. I mean, how bad is that? Behind my ears, hands, arms, legs, feet. And it is unpleasant. It's itchy and stinging and burning. And not at the same time, but it kind of alternates. I was pretty much fried. And then the morning I woke up and looked in the mirror and saw it on my face. It was like, my God, shoot me now. Just shoot me now. Maybe I just want to disappear. I don't think I want to go out in public. That was one of my first reactions. And what I did notice was that when I was out and about, the distraction really helped me not focus on it. So that was a nice little nugget. But the two things that I got from my talk with you, Stephen, was starting to, because I do tap on resistance to the medicines that I take, so that I think there's some resistance there. But tapping on the resistance to the resistance. I didn't know there was such a thing. And I think we could go squared on that. I mean, I think it would be, there's resistance to the resistance to the resistance and ad infinitum. But this had to do with having the first time I had seen this skin thing was on a little girl in my class in elementary school. And what went through my brain when I was 7 or 8 was, oh my God, I don't want to get that. I'd rather die. How awful. That would be so embarrassing. Girls didn't wear pants. You couldn't wear long pants to school. So her little scabby legs were, visible. And I was so appalled. And I I didn't even know the word resist. I just knew I didn't want to get that. And that picture stayed in my mind all these years. And skin things then I get sunburned, and anyway, skin things throughout the years, but that's been 70 years ago. So when you talked about that was the original resistance, and that I've been working on, resisting it in me. But back then, I think as you pointed out, there was also resistance. And until I started working on that original resistance that I resisted, I don't think things were going to move as well. So when I started doing that, I remember crying because I remembered that we were probably mean to her. We didn't want her in our reading group, didn't want to be close to her. And she was smart, sweet. Anybody would have wanted her in their reading group, but it was too scary. Had a lot of fears as a child, and I was afraid of that.
Yeah.
Just like I was afraid of cancer. Just like I was afraid, I was hearing my mother talk about what had happened to the neighbor, and she had to wear a colostomy bag. And I thought, oh my God, that would just be the worst. Well, anyway, I won't even paint the devil on the wall with that. but those fears that I had. So worked on the tapping with the resistance to the resistance, and it was like it really moved the energy. It really moved something. Didn't
So all that
necessarily,
happened there is Alta found out there was something even more underneath what she was already doing. And it was just another form of resistance that, as she said, she's been carrying around quite unconsciously since what, the third grade?
yeah, I think it was probably second or third, because I know we were reading then. Um, yeah, and so having that awareness, and I could feel the emotion come up, and that told me this was where I needed to be.
Yeah.
And then the more Stephen and I talked, I said, when I wake up at 4 in the morning, or I'm an early waker upper, I don't necessarily get up, but I wake up pretty early, and it's dark, and so I don't get up and read. I get up and feed the cat, but I do that pretty much just with the aid of my nightlight. So I don't turn the lights on. And so I don't see what's happening to my hands, or I don't look in the mirror. I don't really think about it. I'm so groggy from sleep, and I'm comfortable then. It's not itching, and I'm in my little bed and feel all cozy warm and relaxed. And so I think what you said was, well, just magnify the hell out of that. Because at that point, my brain says, it's gone. The miracle has come, from above, the miracle has come, which of course is what I've always wanted, is just give me a
Angels
miracle.
singing.
There was no discomfort. And so I've been tapping then, sort of on my side. I was tap, tap, tap. But also just enjoying the moment of lying there. And then when I do get up, I kind of move around in the gray of the morning, and uh, I don't rush in to look to see what it's done, because I don't want to be disappointed. I just want to enjoy that feeling as long as I can.
Yes.
Yeah.
What Alta's talking about is even in the midst of this onslaught physically of this condition on top of other things that she's dealing with, even within all that, and as distressing and uncomfortable as it is, there are these moments where she was telling me when she wakes up in the morning, where she's just lying there and it's like, doesn't feel any of that, feels just fine and normal. And that's what we're like, okay, let's stoke
Yeah.
that.
Want more of that.
Yeah,
Thank you. Wait a minute. Happy, thank you more, please.
right.
Please, I want more of that. And then I began to notice too that when I was getting ready in the day and going out and doing things, the more I could divert myself by going to listening to music on the weekends. We have live music and I love lots of it. The more I go on walks and hikes, I'm in the present, and my skin also isn't bothering me. I'm not seeing it. And at some point, I think after we talked, I realized, yes, I can live like this and be happy. I hoping the medication works. The dermatologist says, oh, it might be a month before you notice a change. And I went, a month? No. Anyway. Um, and you know what? It's just all right. It's what it is. This is what's happening right now. And if I had to live this way, uh, I could. I'm doing my part to treat this. And it's really the serenity prayer, that um, can't do any more than right at this point. And
Yeah.
I feel pretty happy, and I'm quite amazed. And I think you pointed out, and this is my question for tonight, is you pointed out that the body is the last to catch up because I said, emotionally and spiritually, I feel pretty good. I feel real good. And you said, well, the body's the last to catch up. I don't think I've heard you say that before.
Look, it's
Um,
just basic energy, basic physics, and not every thought, not every physical condition weighs the same energetically. Healing occurs, in our belief systems, right? So oftentimes people will report what Alta's talking about, which is like, well, my body is still dealing with this thing, but I'm not caught up in it. I've done a lot of spiritual workout like work around it. I know I'm not my body. I know it matters, not so much what's happening, but how I respond to what's happening. It matters that I even have an intention for living without this. All those things make a difference. So as we do more and more of that work, more and more of that soul level work, that is metaphysical. It's beyond our physical body. It's all connected. We know that. But energetically, the physical body is just more dense than thoughts, right? And feelings that we're, even though we experience them in our bodies. So as we're healing, oftentimes it is the healing that occurs in our emotional, spiritual states,
mhm.
body catches up just because the energy is different. It has more to do, more to work through. We know what it's like to work through a belief, right? Oh, here's my experience. Here's the belief that's creating this experience. I understand all that right here. I now know I've got to change this belief in order to change my experience. And even in that, there's a fair amount of up, down, back and forth and around for a while, right? So imagine that going on energetically in the system. There's just more for it to do. It's a very general thought and idea that the body's the last to receive the what did you call it before, the malady, and it's the last to release it.
That makes sense. And it takes time, which is not in my time
Yeah.
frame.
So a lot of times this is Carolyn Mace's work from 30 years ago of anatomy of the spirit, and there isn't anything going on in the body that isn't connected to what's going on a soul level somewhere, right? And so a lot of that is unconscious, right? And then something shows up in the physical. This is why I love and am so adamant about bringing more and more spiritual work out for physical health and well-being to the world, because we don't collectively as a culture, even as a species, perhaps so far, with some very notable exceptions, we don't we don't honor this idea so much. So a lot of work happens unconsciously, and somebody will say, well, if I'm creating my reality and why do I have this? What am I believing? What am I doing? And it's individual. It's not about blaming anybody for anything. It's just here's what shows up. But when it comes to our physical bodies, that seems to be how it works. An issue, not addressed, not addressed, not addressed, not addressed, is going to take hold in the body. And then we address, 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 and it feels good up here, great. And then the body will catch up. I don't
Yes,
know
and
if that answers your
at some
question.
point, and that makes sense. At some point, my belief system came in that uh, I believed somehow that I had such fear around that, around her, around things of the skin. Was obsessively reading books on leprosy because I had a little spot. And I was like a nerdy kid, and I was always reading. We didn't have the internet, so my parents got us a set of encyclopedias, so I was just poring over them. And then in the library, I would go to the school library had not very much, but the public library had lots of books and pictures and things. And I would just be fascinated, but also afraid. There was a certain fear there that, oh, I have one of those symptoms. I must have that. I don't know, just a fearful kid.
Yeah,
And
we're also like 8 years old.
yeah, like little people have, which we don't always ask them about or encourage them to share about their fears. Oh, honey, don't don't worry about that. You're a
Yeah.
child. Well, I did worry about those things. And that obviously, I think that fear and belief was still there that somehow I would be a victim of something,
The
and
fact that you felt the emotion and you felt the energy shift when you addressed it with the tapping is all the evidence, you need to
yeah,
know that, yeah, there
yeah,
still was a piece of that.
yeah. And sometime I'll talk about the, if people look up Louise Hay, most of her material is online, even though sometimes hard to find her books, and she's passed, but she looks at our physical,
Same thing, same.
yeah, and that this skin things, as much as I resisted looking at what the skin things were, having to do with loving of self, love and acceptance of self.
I think all autoimmune stuff is
I
that.
think that's probably true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's all out of me, but it's good. It's good stuff. It's good work, and I feel like puzzle pieces got connected. I think that Christiana talks about the pieces in the puzzle, and I feel like I was able to place a few really really hard ones.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. So hey, I'm shedding, but hey, you know what? The cat and the dog shed too. So I'm getting new skin.
Exactly.
I'm getting new skin.
Yes, you are. Yes, you
Thank
are.
you, Stephen.
You're welcome. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate you.
Give me the hook, Sam.
I'm on it. Bye, Alton.
Bye for now.
Bye for now. All right.
Who's next?
Who is next?
Do we have anybody lined up that I didn't know about? Everybody else want to sit the bleachers tonight? Is that it? We have only bleacher seats tonight. Although it's still the year of the snake, technically until the 17th. That's right. Snakes shed
And Linda
skin.
says I can come up briefly.
Pardon me?
Linda says I can come up briefly.
All right.
Bring you on. Oh, that's so interesting. New skin, year of the snake.
Hello.
Yeah, Linda.
Hello.
Is that a cowboy hat hanging over your
It looks like it. No, it's my chandelier.
lamp? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Linda.
Howdy. Um, oh yeah, one thing I wanted to mention to you, Stephen. Okay, so I know like you're not into social media and all that, but it can be helpful at least for, like networking, you meet someone, stay connected. But
Yeah.
okay, I sent you an email because just like when I look at your Instagram, I just feel like it doesn't do justice to like how awesome spiritual workout is. And that's all I wanted to say is just like I sent you an email with like maybe a suggestion
Oh,
on like how to improve the wording or whatever.
mm-hmm.
Um, it's just food for thought. But
Sure.
yeah,
No, I appreciate it. I didn't blow it off. I just
oh no. I didn't think you blew it off or
didn't
anything
get to
like
it yet.
that. Oh no, it's not high priority, but I just wanted to mention it just because I feel like um yeah, spiritual workout is
What
awesome.
comes across there and what is lacking, would you say?
So
I
um
ask because Linda is
yeah.
active on there. So
Yeah, kind of like you. I wish I wasn't, but I just feel like it doesn't describe like what spiritual workout is, but that's just my feeling.
How would you describe
Um, let's see, how did I write it in the email? What did I say?
I don't
Uh,
remember. I did mean
I
to
don't
respond, and
remember.
my apologies for that one
Um,
slipping through the cracks.
and the only reason why I mention this is because like I just, like I want what's best for you. And I feel like, Instagram is kind of a sort of a default like resume or whatever. Like people look at it and then they get like a first impression of like your business. Not yours, but I mean anyone's, right?
Yeah.
Um, okay, so what I had written is create real lasting change in your life, a daily practice for mind, body, and soul. Start your spiritual workout for $5 a month. Maybe you could also put like what you have on here, like online every week or something.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it's pretty limited what we can say. Go ahead.
yeah, it's limited on what you can say,
I'm
but I feel
remembering.
like you have something on there that kind of focuses more on the result. Like, what is it that people are wanting? So that's why I put real lasting change in your life, because that's what people want. Like, and you say it all the time is like, people are fed up with being fed up. It's like people who have tried everything and they're just like, nothing's working. Like something like that.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. The not religious or weird or religion friendly thing. I don't know if that's like necessary. I mean, I don't know. I
I
personally,
just, I was playing around with the weird thing, but I've
yeah,
been said non-religious and religion friendly from the get-go.
yeah.
Because as soon as people hear the word spiritual, there's still tons of people who equate that with religion. I used to myself.
Oh, okay.
And so to be able to say immediately, this is not a religious thing, although if you're a religious person, you're certainly welcome.
Okay. I see where that's coming from. Okay. Because some people, I see. See, I don't have that, so I wouldn't have thought of that. But
Right.
some people have like apprehension or bias if they
Automatically, just
automatically.
so that's why it's one of the first things that I'll usually say. Just like if I'm talking about myself, I'll usually say in the first sentence, I'm a former psychotherapist, because it just gives a quick read, like,
Yeah.
oh, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. I don't mind that. Maybe just word it differently. And then, yeah, I like the live online every week. That way people understand that it's
Yeah,
online.
and if we stay on it, and Sam and I will be talking more about this, and if we stay on it, it'll be more focused on even seeing like, oh, these are the classes, this is what's happening, this is what they're talking about. We'll see. It may or may not be the
Yeah.
place to be. Another thing that really helps, no pressure, is anyone who knows spiritual workout who's on Instagram could say a few things right there if they wanted to.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when it's
Exactly.
just when it's just me spewing stuff out, that's all it is. When there's other people, oh yeah, I go to spiritual workout, but not everybody wants to do that. You don't have to,
Yeah.
but that's super helpful.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just
And
think just the first line, if that could be reworded as like
well, to be perfectly
that,
honest, and this is
that's the only
just the
thing.
truth, this is just pure marketing.
Yeah.
Every single person's going to have a few ideas about what they think is right, including me, including you, including Sam, including anybody here. However, as a marketing researcher, I know for sure that none of that really matters until you get a pattern, until you hear from enough people and say, oh, everybody likes that non-religious thing and nobody likes the change thing. Change is too scary. It triggers me, right? You don't know until you talk to enough people. So until I have that much real data, we're all just sort of, this is all deck chairs on the Titanic anyway, because there's no magic formula in 30, 20 years, no magic words that have ever once struck more than others. in my experience so far.
You do have, I know on your website, like you do have like video testimonies and you have reviews. If you like did a transcription of those things and like just put it into ChatGPT could tell you what are the common things that people are saying that like attracted them to spiritual workout or what they got out of it.
Yes,
And it
that
could do
part I
that.
have, but it's still
Yeah.
not the same thing as what sparks somebody who's never seen or heard of us to.
Mm,
That's the piece I don't have yet. I've been doing, you put a gun to my head and say, okay, why do people come to spiritual workout? You've been doing this for 30 years. Why? I don't know. Because it's so different for everybody. And why do they stay? I don't know. It's different for everybody. I mean, sure, there's some patterns that I can see, but not enough.
yeah.
Not enough. So I just welcome the input. And we'll, we'll either the Instagram will go away again for a while until some other time, or we'll just keep iterating and see what happens. Right now, right now, the only reason I'm there is to your point, the contacts that I made when I was in India, and there's some of those contacts that are only on Instagram, so I'm definitely not going to lose them yet. But
Yeah.
please, anybody in the world thinking about spiritual workout and how to get more people in here, thank, thank you very much. Um, we'll see.
That's all. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do at all, right?
No,
I'm just,
I welcome it. I really
uh,
do. Sometimes I can be a little defensive with marketing just because I have a tremendous amount of experience and a tremendous amount of opinions, and I don't want to drag the whole world into marketing conversations because a lot of people don't care. Um, I really, so I welcome thoughts and ideas all the time. Uh,
yeah. I was just quite trying to point out a potential opportunity of that.
yeah.
There may be a better slogan or better way to say, because I just feel like when I read it, it doesn't do justice to like what this actually is. That's all I'm saying. And I
I
mean
get it.
that in a good way. Like
I get
this
it.
is way better than
I get
like
it.
the words on
I would
on
love it if you
Instagram.
said that there. I don't expect that you will, and you don't have to, and you might not want to. You might not want to mess up your own brand by, anything. And I totally get that. Um, but to me, that's also probably one of the most organic way. That's why I don't like doing things small scale like I'm doing it. I mean, in my mind, there's a marketing staff, and Instagram is part of their job, and they're experts at it, and they do it in a lot of different ways, much more consistently, and that, you know, to see if it builds business. Um, I don't feel like I've got any heft right now to do any more than what we're doing, and I've never had any success at it in terms of people clicking over and becoming a subscriber.
Right. I guess I meant just more like, you meet someone and, they quickly look at your bio and they're like, oh, like, like just tightening that up or making it more descriptive. Like that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying like, yeah, people in the ethers gonna find it and subscribe. Like that's pretty, I know it just doesn't really work that way, but I mean, there might be, but
Yeah, you never know.
you
I'm,
never know.
I'm an optimistic guy. Can come from anywhere. So yeah, to me, that's just an example of opening a spigot, a conduit for potential energy coming our way. So
Okay. I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up first because
thank you. Thank you. And again,
I
I did not
just,
mean to blow that off. It was just sort of put over on the shelf.
no, I didn't feel that way at all. I
Good.
just wanted to point out that spiritual workout is awesome. And um, I just think that there could be a better way to describe it. That's all.
I'm sure there is. So what else you got?
Maybe Sam has some ideas or something. Um, yeah, I wanted to, okay, so in your spirit, well, whatever, in spiritual workout world,
Mhm.
are you, and I remember, okay, I feel like you were talking to Delilah about this last week. And that is like, there's no mistakes, right? Like, meaning like we're exactly where we're supposed to be, and like everything happens for a reason. Like is this one of the core concepts? Okay,
Yep.
we are here for a reason, beliefs matter. Okay.
So this is a belief in and of itself. This also means there are no accidents. This also means, yeah, we, it's a combination of also being present. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. How do I know that? Because it's where I am. But I don't
Hmm.
like where I am. Okay, well, that's a different story. Now we can start to create something else. But um, this is a belief in and of itself. That's why I have the beliefs card, right? So I don't know what you believe. The starting point for me is anybody who's in here more or less believes these 15 concepts. I'm not here to teach them or to talk anybody into them. And sometimes people are here just to explore the question. I'm not sure what I think about that. Is everything random? Is nothing random? Are there coincidences? Are there not coincidences? That's perfectly fine. But this practice goes from the place that believes already there are no accidents.
Hmm.
Did I run off on a tangent there?
No, no, I think, yeah, the reason why I bring it up is
Yes.
because like something happened today. I'm not going to get into details or really talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, but something happened or I realized something today where I'm kind of like, oh shoot, like feeling like scarcity, like, oh, shoulda, woulda, kind of could have. I should have done that in the past. Oh, I should have done this in the past. Or, kind of like feeling a little bit of regret or like I should have done this as like I should have taken care of this like a long time ago, blah, blah, blah. But then like the other side of my brain is like, no, no, Linda, like everything happens for a reason. You're here, like what, this present state that you're in is exactly how it's supposed to be, and that everything will work out as it's supposed to.
Do you believe that?
I do, yeah.
So then the place to go from that is from this present moment where, I don't know, something's going on. It's making me question the past. It's making me maybe wish I did something different, even though I'm here where I am. So then all we do from here, it's a lot easier as long as we start from the place of neutral, just acceptance. Okay, well, that happened. I'm not resisting it, like what Alta was talking about, resistance. I don't like it. You don't have to like it. We're not talking about liking it. We're just talking about it already happened. It already happened. And I don't like it. I don't want to be in that place anymore. I don't want to feel
Mm,
this feeling anymore. Well,
mm,
all of that language, just to me, points us to intention because law of attraction is always on, right? Okay,
mm,
I'm not a criminal for being in the feeling state I'm in right now, but the feeling state I'm in right now is not very fun. It's not very interesting, and I don't want to stay in it. I also don't want to live in the past because that's just going to make me feel worse also. So, what's the best use of my precious time and energy? What's the best investment of my precious time and energy? I'm already thinking and feeling things I don't want to keep thinking and feeling. So, how quickly can I go from this present moment that's full of unwanted or has a lot of unwanted in it to what I would prefer to experience?
mm. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Right.
Those would be the basic mechanics if I'm understanding what the general picture here.
So the past doesn't matter.
Well, if we're being totally present on a very spiritual level, and this is a really challenging concept for me, certainly, there is no past, there is no future, there's only present. That's what the whole point of all of it is about. We
Mm-hmm,
experience past and present and future as humans in this time-space continuum, which itself is a construct. It's just part of the way that we experience this human thing, which is one of a zillion things a soul can do.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So when we heal an issue, a challenge in the here and now, we actually heal it back there too. So we don't have to go
mm,
back to it. We just do it here and now.
mm-hmm, yeah, it's a good reminder.
So given that, well, there's another idea that's creeping in as we're talking, which is another belief. It's not tied to a specific concept, but it's a belief in and of itself, which is it doesn't really ever matter. Nobody likes hearing this. What happens? What matters is how we respond to what happens. That to me is
Mm.
another belief that conscious practice just takes on,
But what
ascribes to.
if it's something that I did or didn't do in the past? Because that sounds kind of like not reacting with something someone else does, or, you know.
Well, whatever's going on today, whatever prompted this conversation,
Hmm.
sounds like something to which you are and or will respond.
Mm,
That's what I'm getting at. So
mm,
how you respond to it is part of the equation. Well, I'm just going to respond to it by getting clear about what I'd prefer to experience. I'm going to respond to it by shining up an old intention or creating a new one. I'm going to respond to it by not beating myself up over it. I'm going to respond to it in a way that's decidedly different from how I used to do these things. There's a whole lot of juicy energy in that
hmm.
if you can sense it. And I'm sure you can.
Mm. Gotcha, yeah.
And the whole everything's for a reason, there are no accidents, it's all for something, nothing's happening to me, it's all happening for me. That's really, again, these are just different ways to talk about what we're talking about. Um, but it speaks directly to the whole point of us being here, which is we're spiritual beings having human experiences, and we choose to embrace that idea and live life from that perspective. So anything that shows up, whether I like it or not, and especially if I don't like it, is for me on some level. Whatever if I've got going on today, if I really do this piece and address it in the ways that we're talking about, well, then I'm going to learn and grow from it, and then I won't have to have that experience anymore. So in that way, we don't resist anything. That's really hard for our culture right now,
Mm.
which is all about resistance. Printing it on t-shirts with hashtags. Resist. Okay.
So you're saying like anything I'm going through now is it's like for my growth and
Yes.
for, you know, yeah.
Every experience that we have as souls here
Hmm.
in our human bodies is for our growth and development. That's the whole point of this exercise of humanity and being human, apparently.
So is there like no regret then?
Correct.
Hmm.
I mean, it doesn't mean we wouldn't look back and say, well, I've learned from that. So I don't regret it. I've learned from it. I'm not doing that anymore.
Hmm.
Boy, that was an interesting time in my life. That was an interesting experience. It's not like you have to say you love it. You just have to say, well, here's what I got out of it. So I don't have to do that
Mm.
anymore.
Right. Instead of regret, it's like, okay, I learned from that. Here's what I got out of it.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
because I've learned what I needed to from it, I don't have to have the experience anymore. And you'll probably
Hmm.
get one more shot. Something will come up and be like, yeah, no, I don't do that anymore. There's a whole poem. I never have it handy, and I'm gonna botch it, and hopefully one of you guys know it better than I do. But it's that thing of, you know, walking down the street, and there's the rabbit hole, manhole, whatever, and in the beginning, it's like, yeah, I'm going down there, and then come back up. It's like, oh, yeah, that's pretty shitty. And you walk next time you go down a little bit more. It's like, yeah. Then you go down a little bit. Then it's like you start to put your foot in. Yeah, I'm not doing that. And then by the end, you're just like, yeah, there's that rabbit hole. I'm just not going in that anymore. That seems to be a loose interpretation, but also maybe not so loose about the experience that we have doing this kind of work. There are very few people that I've ever seen who get it. Oh my God, I see the whole pattern. I see what I've been doing. I'm not doing that anymore. Who don't get a few more opportunities to test that out, you know, that walking around. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, that's juicy. I'm going down there again. Oh no, I'm not. I don't do that anymore. There's usually a bit of a process to get from diving into walking around it. I don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Hmm.
So, like anything, and particularly when something just pops up, uh, and I think Alta's getting at this, you know, there's what happens. We say this here in spiritual workout all the time. There's what happens, and then there's the meaning we make of what happens. And the meaning we make of what happens is what we're choosing to believe about it. So, who was I talking to just today? A client, um, and something's just happening right now. And I could tell in conversation with him that he was doing what we all do, making meaning of what was happening. And I suggested, I'm like, now is the moment for you to be super clear about what you're going to choose to believe about what's happening. Because I could feel and see, and he could too. He's like, yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this. Fine, but make of it something that you make consciously and not some default thing. The example I often throw out is my girlfriend broke up with me. That's what happened. It's a fact. It just happened. She wants nothing to do with me. I'll never be happy again. Ooh, there is meaning that I'm making. Do you hear that clear belief? I will never be happy.
Mm.
It's like, where do I sign up for that? No, this is where we want to catch ourselves. So nothing means anything until we assign it meaning. And human beings assigning meaning to the events and circumstances of our lives is all that's happening all day, every day.
Hmm.
Choices abound is a concept because we're often choosing what meaning to make of things without giving it much thought at all. This is another place where spiritual workout for physical health and well-being comes in. You're going through it. You've got a doctor's appointment. You've been waiting for it for 8 weeks. You're sitting in the room, you've got somebody with you, you're taking notes. Here's something on the screen, and here's words coming out. And before you even get to your car, you are making meaning, you are forming beliefs about what was just about what just transpired, some of which may serve you and some of which may not. What we're doing here is getting better and better and better at not choosing to believe things that we know won't serve us.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bit of a rant.
It was a great rant.
Is any of this helping you?
Yeah. Yeah, no point dwelling on the past, of course.
We springboard from the past. We springboard from, okay, I see what I've done. I see the pattern. I see I wish I wasn't in this again. I don't like it. Okay, what would I prefer? Ding. Now right into intention.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the dump list, you'll see, can I go right into the intention or am I dragging some extra stuff with me? There's no right or wrong to that. It's just what's the truth.
Yeah, I'm realizing from this conversation I need to write another intention. So I will do that because I'm going to springboard to this new intention.
Good. That's the practice. That is the practice. That's a conscious response to what already got created today.
Yeah, you're right. Because now I'm realizing I need to write down this intention from the thoughts I was having earlier to this conversation. The action is I'm going to write down this intention, like put it down in words.
I'm hearing music in my
Yes. This is the practice. This is why I'm showing up. This is why I'm here. It's like, oh yeah. And I have like I've got a folder here of my intentions. So I'm just gonna add it as one of many already that I have.
Good. Good. There's no limit. There's no limit.
There's no limit. Okay, that, and that actually just makes me feel so good because I'm doing something. Okay, maybe that's not a spiritual thing, but
It's
like,
it's the most spiritual thing you've said all night.
okay.
It feels good. Period. End of
Oh,
sentence.
okay. Okay.
End of sentence. It's like, oh, whatever he's yammering about, process through a little bit. That feels good. Feels productive. Feels like a da da
Right.
da. That feeling. Tell me what that feeling is.
It always feels good to
More than good. Different than good.
mm,
I feel
like relieved, excited.
nobody who feels relieved, nobody who feels excited is out of alignment. Whatever you were when you got here, you're now back in alignment.
You're totally right. I just realized I just did a whole shift and it's like ding 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 ding.
Yes.
Yeah, because I
And
realized
this is what tells you. This is all the analysis you need. I feel a whole lot better. I
yeah,
feel
because I
excited.
realized like all I have to do is write an intention and I just immediately just felt like relief. It's like, oh yeah, this thing that I'm worrying about just goes away because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write an intention and this yeah, this worry goes away.
It's on your face or it's gone from your face. I can
Yeah,
feel it. I'm sure
yeah,
everybody else can too. This is it. This is the practice, everybody. All this blah, 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 in the nitty-gritty of our everyday life, here and now. Bingo.
yeah. And it always feels good to take action. Like when you feel like you're stuck, and then when you have a plan or have something and you start taking action, you always like feel better. And so that is this.
Would you agree that this feels like inspired action?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. I'm going to shut up now because I've said.
No, you help me like because I'm like, oh, I'm feeling these like feelings about this thing, and then I'm like, oh, duh. I just gotta write this intention. Problems go away.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. I'm so glad that you brought this conversation to us.
Thank you, as always.
And I'm glad for the Instagram too. I'll see you there.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Don't hesitate
I,
to.
don't- yeah, I don't, maybe I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about that kind of stuff. Oh, I just mean if it could truly, honestly comes from a good
I
place.
would love it. I would love it if you were ever so inclined, and maybe you're not ever going to be, or maybe you will be. Be like, hey, Stephen, as a spiritual workouter, da da da. I think your Instagram sucks. It could be so much better, and da 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 da. That would get way more attention than anything I'm doing.
What do you mean?
Hmm.
I would get way more attention. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, than anything I'm doing. I'm sure it would. Well, because then we could engage about that in a
Mm,
place where people might see it. But that's not your job.
mm.
You probably want to keep your own account very clean. Your
No,
account is great.
it is really good. I just it is really good. I just thought it could just be tweaked a little to make it even better.
Absolutely.
Well, that is all.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're gonna let you go and take your inspired action.
Yes, I have it up right here. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm
All
starting the new doc right now. Here we go. Yep, writing it here. I'm starting to type. Okay.
We'll leave you to it. Sam, let her go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda, very much. We'll see you again back here and on Instagram.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
Sam, I think you're gonna have to put our Instagram link up with all this talk.
Got you.
Thank you, Linda, very much.
Looking for it.
Who's next, by the way? Anybody? Have I missed anyone?
Who is next? Who wants to come up?
Yeah, I don't think Sam even knows I was playing around with editing that and then walked away from it in the middle. Linda caught it.
Erin says she wants to come up.
Erin.
Let's go, Erin.
Howdy.
Howdy.
My headband's all the way back.
Congratulations on your Seattle win.
Thanks. I'm not usually a
I know you don't care.
football watcher, but it was like really, it was fun to like, I think
You watched.
Seattle has a really good like fun like community support, I think. Different, it
Like
feels different.
fans?
Yeah, like it feels different from Los Angeles. It feels a little bit nicer, you know. Um I don't know, but it was fun, and the halftime show was really cool. So I don't know
Good.
if you watched the video of fireworks. Yeah, I'm sure they were just partying and like super happy. And those people dressed up as the Bushes are going to be like super famous memes from the halftime show. So funny. Anyways, hello.
Hello.
Oh, I don't know what I want to talk about. I'm trying to
You
dig
don't.
something. No, could tap maybe.
How's it going with your daily tasks?
I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back. It's I haven't abandoned it. I inching. You should, Gina. I love it. Uh, it was a very creative way. I saw a thing that sorry, I'm so sidetracking. They said like they're only allowed 25 carts on the field and they have to be very specific. So, oh, how do we get like a bunch of like plants out? And because they wanted to make it like a field. I was like,
Hmm.
well, it makes sense to have people dress up like bushes and they just run out there and stand there. I was waiting for them to start dancing, but I was like, that's very creative. And I like dozens of people got to be like a part of the show too. I think that was really
Yes.
like fun. Um, I'm doing well with my daily task. Not perfect, but and I'm still not adding anything to it to like
Hmm.
um so cleaning the kitchen sink has become like yeah, I'm gonna do this real quick and making my bed every day. Like even if I literally make it like 20 minutes before I get in, I still want it to be made and like tidied up. So, yeah, those two things are becoming less annoying, less of a chore. And
Arduous. Yep.
Mhm. So I'm just gonna kind of like keep up with what's on the list right now and see where that, leads. So
Hmm.
yeah. So that's going well.
Good.
Yeah. Um, I'm feeling very overwhelmed with life right now.
Define overwhelmed, which sounds crazy because everybody says it, but that's why I need it defined.
No. Well, I know you don't love the word anxiety, but like I just feel like there's a lot on my plate and it's just all the adulting stuff, like making appointments, getting prescriptions filled, doing the appointments, not forgetting about them, keeping the house tidy, trying to keep the mail from becoming a giant mountain. Like, I forgot last year I didn't pay like a city tax for my company. It's no big deal. I got a collections thing. I'm gonna pay it, but I just feel like, can I just give you my fucking credit card and you guys can just goddamn bill me every year for your stupid city tax because I have a company here? Like, they don't even like remind you. You have to remember to do it. It's just like, I can't. Like, there's too much stuff. Just fucking take my card and like, um, yeah, I just feel very like overwhelmed with just life, everything. Um, I just want like I really wish I had like a month off to just flitter about and go through my shit. And I mean, I'm making headway. I got my shed in place. I'm having a gardener come tomorrow and clear out some yard shrubbery to make way for my fence I'm putting in. So I'm doing little steps, but everything just feels, I think when I'm juggling a lot of different projects, I get anxiety about not being able to focus on that fully and like what
So
will fall through the cracks or what will, yeah.
this is exactly where I wanted to go. We touched on it with um, earlier conversations. What does it mean to you tonight that you're feeling overwhelmed, that the adulting thing is hard? What is it? Well, I just said one, maybe,
Yeah.
but
I think there's a lot of fear under it. Like,
so
okay,
so here, it's not that I don't like the word anxiety or fear or anything.
yeah,
It's just I want to help people realize that anxiety and fear are two examples of conditions that are only created by belief. So let's just look at the beliefs instead of concentrating on the fear and the anxiety, which is
I,
the symptom of the belief. Hmm?
I'm going to argue with you, but
Go
I
ahead.
I get it. I totally get it. It's a chicken and the egg thing, though. You know what I mean? It's like the
It
reason
doesn't
I
matter.
feel this
So,
way is because of my
so
past experiences.
yes, but that you're proving the point. Beliefs create the experience. It
Right.
doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter which came first, the experience or the belief, because we are all living lives where some of our beliefs came first, because before we could talk, people are drilling them into our little psyches.
Hmm.
Uh, Money doesn't grow on trees. Okay, got it. There's a belief. I didn't even have the experience. I've never held money. I don't know what it is. I'm 3 years old, but I sure know it doesn't grow on trees,
Hmm.
right? So there, the belief came first.
Yeah.
The next day, I fell down off my tricycle and I scraped my knee and it was bleeding and I was a big mess. And so my tricycle is dangerous. Does it matter which came first? No. I'll answer for you. No, it doesn't. And again, the more you push back on it, the more you prove the point that I have this belief and I keep having this experience. I have this experience and I keep having this belief. I have this belief and I keep having the experience. I have the experience and I keep having the belief. You want to stop the cycle, or you want to just keep it going? If you want to stop it, you don't go to the experience, you go to the belief. The experience is fear. The experience is anxiety. The experience is overwhelm.
That is the experience. And I'm feeling that, knowing these things are on my list, and I'm just like, ugh.
So what do
Gotta
you
make that
believe?
doctor's appointment, and like I know what fresh hell that awaits me in doing that, you know. My belief is there will be a fresh hell awaiting me and finding a new gynecologist, making an appointment. They're gonna tell me we're not booking until this is what happened, fucking July. And like, okay, I need to they're supposed to call me back this week to let me know if they can take me. Are they going to do that? Do I need to call them back? Probably. They're gonna
So it's not ever too late to set an intention. So starting right now, here's what you could do.
Okay.
Just like we were talking about with Linda about mechanics of where would you go from here, spiritual workout style. Where you go from here is, so even though I have all these beliefs about history and practice that I'm choosing to intend that this process goes easily. Even though I have a long history, I don't even want to get into it about da 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 da. I'm choosing here and now, from this moment forward, that this gyno doctor project is easy, even though I have a long history of it going bad, even though I'm sure it'll be fresh out because it always is and it always has been. I love and accept myself completely. I'm going to do it differently this time. I don't want to drag out that old history. I don't want to keep having the same experience. This is what you would do. One thing
Why do I resist tapping so much? I
on
do.
your own.
Yeah,
Do you really want to know why?
I know why. Because I am addicted to like living in the space where everything's a fucking drag and I'm right, everything's a damn drag. And there's, the world we live in is this sucky place that I've experienced already. And I'm going to experience again because why would it be any different or better? So I'm addicted to that being the case and knowing that it's true.
Do you like?
Yes, when Christy, when you mentioned being addicted to be melancholy a few times ago, I was like, oh my God, that is so me. I am addicted to it. Like I get annoyed when like my sister comments out of the goodness of her heart that I seem like really happy and I seem like, I had a good night. And like that bugs me to have someone point out that they're noticing if I'm feeling like I'm in a good mood. So I don't know if that's part of the being addicted to melancholy or
What bothers you about it? Do you know?
I feel like it makes me like overly self-aware and like instead of just like letting me enjoy the moment, there has to be commentary about it. And then I feel like on the spot and then I feel like I have to be performative and then I feel like, well, I may wake up tomorrow and be in a bad mood. Is that okay? Like I don't yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm being like watched and like under a microscope. What? What
I'm,
you
de-
ready
I'm, de- I'm debating whether or not to share this. So when you said you know why you resist, when you're just talking about specifically somebody kind of like noticing, wow, Aaron, you look like you're having a good minute, a good hour, a good day, a good, and then that's somehow, a little too much reinforces this idea. This idea, however, is just an opinion, a possibility that I would offer to a seasoned somebody I've worked with for a while because it may or may not be true.
Did judgments separate us?
That underneath all of it is
Oh,
responsibility. Why would I resist something that seems good? Why would I resist the very thing that I kind of think I say I want in varying degrees? If you ask me, just based on anecdotal practice for 30 years, it's an unconscious aversion to really taking responsibility. Oh my God. Well, if things turn around and my life is pretty smooth and easy, and I can't
Yeah.
blame this one and that and this dynamic and that, then fuck, that's all going to come down on me. And I'm going to be responsible from that day forward. And I'm not so sure I'm ready for that.
Why does being happy? How is being happy not, how is resisting being like happy about something, avoiding responsibility?
It's not necessarily, but
But
it's usually the reason why people do it. Because underneath it, remember, this concept doesn't just mean take responsibility, although it's not only an admonishment. Hey, you take responsibility for your life.
yeah.
It's part of that. It's also sussing out what we are and are not responsible for, especially vis-a-vis other people. But it comes up all the time in terms of living consciously. Because when we live consciously, we don't get to blame anybody for anything. When we believe we've already chosen it, yeah, this shitty experience that I'm not liking at all, yeah, we already chose it. Whether we chose it consciously or on a soul level before we came here or whatever, that's what it all means. So to live consciously is to live from a perspective and a place of I'm responsible for my life. I'm not necessarily responsible for everything, for creating by myself everything that I'm experiencing. I didn't create the political thing that we're in. I didn't create uh, uh, war. I didn't create homelessness, but I'm here to experience it. How do I know that? Because I'm experiencing it. It's on my radar, right? So if I'm living a conscious life, I don't call these things wrong and bad. I don't judge them. You mentioned that before. I accept them as they are, and if they inspire me to do things differently, like Alta said, she saw something last night that inspired her to think about this society she wants to live in. Then taking responsibility would be not my society sucks, but what can I do to cultivate more of what I would like to see in my society? That's a lot of responsibility.
Mhm.
And what I see is people resisting because of that, because they'll somehow say, yeah, I think maybe underneath it all, that might be it. Let me think about that. Let me see if that's what it is. Because if that thing could then explain everything else, then addressing that thing would really make some changes. But is everybody ready for change? Linda says, put that on your Instagram because that's what spiritual workout is really for. You've been full of anxiety and you don't want anymore. Do spiritual workout. You really want change. And then what I say is, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And a whole lot of people resist it. Yeah, I say I want change, but really only if it's going to be good change. I want change, but not if I have to do anything to make it happen. I want change, but not if I'm the one who's going to be responsible for doing it all. So how does this idea sit with you as a concept? Like, maybe that's
So how does this apply to me just feeling overwhelmed with like mail and addressing the mail and paying this bill and making this appointment and keeping track of the appointments and my overwhelm with all these everyday things, like how does that fit into that? What I'm,
it's
feeling.
just other examples. So this is where introspection and self-awareness come in because you and me and any of us can really only are the only arbiters for ourselves about what's really true for us, right? So it's possible that the answer to your question, possible, is what excuse me, what you just described is just another form of resistance. It looks like something very concrete. Well, this is the issue
Hmm.
until you realize, wow, there are 17 issues or 117 issues, and there are always issues. Then it starts to look like a pattern. Why would somebody have a pattern over and over again? We create very elaborate forms of resistance. When we're tapping, oftentimes tap on the resistance, don't try to figure out every strand there is to it because we are masters at it in so many ways. So it might not be just that one example, but all of the examples that add up to, wow, I am way better at resistance than I thought I was. I've even fooled myself to think that the issues are these individual things when in fact, all these individual things just add up to one big giant form of resistance. You wouldn't be the first. That's the book that Linda just said. I've heard someone say that they're happy in their misery. Yep, a lot of people are. It's also, Linda, I just thought of The War of Art. This is a book that we talked about, which just, I
The
mean,
opposite of the art of war, the war of art.
it's the war of art, exactly. And it's basically, hey, creative person who has a block,
Mhm.
here's what the block is about. But it's not just for creative people who are having trouble staring at the blank page or the blank canvas. It's people in life, like Erin, like what we're talking about, which is what am I resisting? Because in that book, it does a really good job, and it's a thin book, but it does a good job of pointing out what I'm not pointing out so well in this conversation, which are all the ways we have, or a lot of the ways we have of resisting that we don't call resistance, that don't look and seem like resistance in our
Mm.
everyday lives. They look and sound like the things you're talking about. They can. They can. I want to be clear. I'm not telling you what time it is. I'm suggesting you look over and see if that's what time it is.
That would time them. Um, I was just reading the action abolishes anxiety. Okay, so regarding that collections bill for my city finance tax,
Mhm.
um, they emailed me and I said, "What is this for?" And I said to the city of Los Angeles finance, whatever, tax for your business. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I forgot to pay that." Like, and they have a whole portal to just pay. So I guess I was putting it off. And if I think about why was I not just like paying it, just go put your credit card in and pay it. Well, one, maybe because technology can be like annoying and be like, there's a shot. I fucking put my stuff in and it won't work. And then, like, I don't want to deal with that. But aside from that, like, I'm annoyed that they sent it to collections. I'm annoyed that, like, like, oh, is that going to be like a smear on my company's name? And then, but like what you're saying is like take responsibility. Okay, I forgot to pay it. I need to stop worrying that I'm being judged by the city of Los Angeles and this fucking collections agency and why I didn't pay it. Like, my mom died last year. I was very busy. Like, that little one bill slipped through the cracks. So last night at like midnight, I was up and like I just looked at the email and I'm like, why don't I just fucking pay it? Like, quit fighting them on not paying it because like it's collect like to me I was like, well, maybe I can like contact the city of LA, the finance, and be like, can I just pay you guys and not the collections? And then it's like, no, they already sent it to collections, just fucking pay it and then hopefully that settles it. Like, I was like trying to fight it, you know so yeah, I was not wanting to take responsibility for not paying it. And it's like, okay, it doesn't have to be the end of the world that I didn't pay this and it went to collections and like, okay.
Did you pay it at midnight?
Yeah.
And can you go back to that moment and say what it felt like to do that?
I think it felt like the whole like, well, when I say drop the sword, that's your judgment separate us thing or whatever. Like, yeah, it just felt like a release of like being in battle for a second, like letting go of the
Relief.
hammer. Relief. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Relief. That's a good word.
Yet again, when we're stressed and we then feel relief, we're back in alignment. What I just did was the right thing. How do I know that? Because I feel relief.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the thing that I wanted to wrap this conversation up with about responsibility that nobody ever really thinks about because they're so caught in the resistance. I get it. I've had my share of resistance, embodying a resistance to all sorts of things. The benefit to the taking of responsibility for you in that moment was some relief. Great. But ultimately, put two or three or four or five of those experiences together, and the prize for the willingness, no matter how much we may have resisted it to the moment, to take responsibility is authentic, organic empowerment, self-empowerment. Is that not what all the self-help books are about? That is the juicy, rich, rewarding, freeing result of one's willingness to take responsibility for whatever shows up. So I hope in this conversation to convey to you the resistances that you have might at this point just be a very elaborate um, uh, form of resistance so that it doesn't look or feel like it.
Mhm.
The pattern of staying in resistance and looking at the history and the chicken and egg thing and all that stuff um, can be a big ruse to simply avoid taking responsibility. Again, you wouldn't be the first. Volumes have been written, and yet the juicy prize benefit reward of doing so is again that authentic self-empowerment.
Just thinking about all the mail I have to look at. Like what's in there?
Try to look at it as in this context. Try to put this lens on when, today, tomorrow, whenever you do it, and just say, okay, what if he's right? What if all of this is just because somewhere deep inside, I just don't want to take responsibility for my life? Let me just see if there's something to that. You're the only one who's going to know.
I know. I mean, I basically have lived my life trying to come up with systems to manage this. Like, how am I going to get my house in order, my life in order? I'm going to do, and just. But I mean, I do take action. I take inspired action. It just doesn't always stick and it falls apart. And it's like, how much of it
Because
is also just the world we live in? Like, I don't want to go look at my mailbox. It's going to be full of fucking garbage that I have to deal with that I didn't goddamn ask for. I don't want to grab the junk mail to put it in my recycle bin. Like, stop sending it to me. I didn't
so I
ask
have
to
to, I
bother me
have
with paper.
I have to correct you on a little piece, and I think Alta's getting to this too.
Okay.
I didn't ask for this.
Yeah. When did I ask for a mailbox full of junk mail that it's taking up space in my mind that I don't have room for? Stop. Thank you, Linda. I'm here to deal with junk mail. I'm here to learn how to like deal with it or how to not
Something about it.
I'm
Something
having
about it. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. There's nobody to blame. That's the difference. That's the difference. Alta said things don't happen to me because I was bad or deserving. Things happen and they are neither good or bad. They just are, and how I react is my responsibility. How I respond. Exactly.
But
Stop.
it hasn't always affected like me like this. Everything just feels like it is affecting. I mean, it could be grief, like in my grief, right? I think my nervous
Absolutely.
very sensitive and like it just feels like, my mom died. Like, stop sending me junk mail. What is this meaningless advertising? Like, all it does is bother me and make me spend my precious energy, which I have very little of, on this fucking annoying thing. My sister will be like, I sent you a letter. Did you check? I'm like, I haven't looked in my mailbox in like 5 days. Why?
You live
Because there's going to be garbage in there for me to deal with that I don't
you
want.
live in LA, right?
Yeah.
So you have recycling bins, boxes, whatever.
Mhm.
What do you have? So did you ever just bring the blue recycling thing to your mailbox?
It's literally next to it. That's what I do.
Cool. Yeah, just
That is like part of
I
it. So
mean,
it's
I'm not
still
here to tell you how to do things, but
that is still like it's like when people talk about the mental load that like their partner puts on them with seemingly small things, but they're at a point where it's like, don't ask me where the fucking ketchup is. Like, yes, it's a simple question, but I am not your brain, so it's just it feels like mental load to me to have to like deal with
so
all these tiny little things.
I came here to experience being overloaded mentally. What's in that for me?
Sorry,
What's
just
my, I don't like it. I don't want to keep experiencing it.
yeah.
Hmm. Who do I have to be? What muscle do I have to grow or develop in order to navigate to a more peaceful existence with the mailbox? That's the only reason it's there.
Maybe I just install a shredder instead of a mailbox, and when the
Even
mailman
better.
mail in, it just shreds.
That'd be, I would buy one of those. Why don't you
Immediately shreds it.
manufacture those?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would buy one.
That'd be a funny meme. Like, we've just had it. My mailbox is now a shredder. When you deliver the mail, it's gone. Just becomes compost for my compost bin in my garden.
Or
Thank you.
run for office and change the laws.
I mean, I signed up for a thing that you had to pay for. It was like $15, but still, like, why do I have to pay for this? To stop junk mail, and it has lessened it, but there's still junk mail. Like, so it's like, yeah, I shouldn't have to pay for this. Like,
It's time for you to run for office. That's
oh
my
my, can you
advice.
imagine me running for office?
I'll vote for you
Dude, the system is no.
because you'll get it done. You know how it should be done.
I'd be like, cut the shit. I'd probably be like Jasmine Crockett. I love her. She just fucking says it like it is and doesn't, yeah.
Thank you, Aaron. I
What
know
am I
this
doing with this?
doesn't seem like a very satisfying conversation for you, but I sure enjoyed it.
So it's me figuring out why I'm experiencing this right now.
You might want to ask yourself what's the challenge? Why do I keep having this? Again, that question. Who do I have to be? What muscle, what trait would really help me right now?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
maybe it's just acceptance. Maybe it's just,
Trade will help me out.
and then it's like, then that becomes the project instead of fighting the mail that apparently is not going to stop in the immediate future. And that's a redirection of our energy. It's a reinvestment of your precious time and energy in something productive, just like what Linda experienced when we were watching. Just a shift in,
What traits do I need to embody to deal with this, manage this in a positive way, in a better way
yeah,
that makes me happier?
yeah. That's always a very rich, fertile area for inquiry. And I promise you, it's going to be something very conceptually very simple Like someone will say, well, I just have to be more compassionate. Sure, if I was much more compassionate, I wouldn't have this issue. Okay, well, there it is. It's not necessarily easy, but it'll be simple and it will be familiar. I would bet my life on it. You'll say, oh, yeah, it's not the first time I've entertained that thought.
Okay, I'll see what comes up.
Fish around, and we could tap for that inquiry tomorrow if you want.
Okay, that's a good idea.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You don't have to say thank you if you don't.
Thank you, Erin.
Gave me
See-
another task.
Oh no, I just booted her.
We
Sorry,
missed that
Erin.
last one, Aaron. I always tell Sam, come on, Sam, just knock people off.
And then I do, and I feel so
And then
bad
he
doing it
does, and he feels
mid-sentence.
bad because it's always mid-sentence.
To get my timing
Well,
right.
Aaron, you can tell us what you said right here, or we'll catch it next time. All right. Oh, God, we're over. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam. Do you have anything? Yes, I gave you a task. Exactly.
You did.
Sam,
All right.
bring us home.
Okay, yeah. So I just pasted the link to the group post for today, which is
Okay.
where you can connect with each other and between clinics, like ask any questions, um, share any comments or observations from today's drop-in. So yeah, that's always there for you. And
Excellent.
yeah, that's all I got.
All right. And we'll be back tomorrow. Also, a week from tomorrow will be Conscious Politics next Tuesday night,
Okay.
the 17th. So you might want to mark
Nice.
your calendars for that. I think everybody here who wants to be is looped into that. If not, let me know that you want to be looped into that. We'll make it happen. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. Who else was there before that? Linda. Thank you, Alta.
Alta.
And we'll see y'all next time.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.